Hi Dollar Diva, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be kind of giving you like a brush basics video. I'm going to be going through the different types of makeup brushes, kind of showing you how you can tell what it is that they do, what they're for, because not all brushes have the names and purposes written on them. Some do, but a lot do not. And so I've had some requests for this video, and so I wanted to do it. And the best part about the video that I'll be doing today is I'm going to be featuring like mostly Dollar Tree brushes. So these are brushes that I have found over the years at Dollar Tree. Some of them are older, some of them are newer, but yeah, just to show you that you can like buy brushes and like good brushes at a bargain price point. So so yeah, these are going to answer some of your questions that you've had, because I do get a lot of people asking, how do you know what brush to use for what and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to just clarify and explain the best I can. So of course, if you're a returning Dollar Diva, thank you so much for coming back for another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jessica and I'm basically a bargain beauty channel. What I mean by that is I like to do a lot of the same fun content that other beauty channels do. I just like to keep it at the bargain price point. So the closer to $1, the better. If it sounds like you're in the right place, I do hope you'll become part of our Dollar Diva family here on YouTube. And the makeup look I'm wearing today is a second impressions on some recent new Dollar Tree makeup, things I've used once before and wanted to use again and kind of get a second impression of. So this video will be out next. Definitely be on the lookout. And as always, I'll have related content down below in the description box. Definitely check out some of my other videos. And without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I'm going to start with complexion brushes. So let's start with like foundation brushes. So let's start with brushes that you would use for like cream and liquid products. So 3 that I have from the Dollar Tree are right here. So usually a foundation brush will have short, densely packed bristles. They may be angled like this. They may be completely flat on the top, like this brush right here. This is a new one from Dollar Tree. It's from Must Have Beauty. This is a Sassy Chic one. These are supposed to be dupes for Rare Beauty apparently, but they're both foundation brushes. I've even had them where they're a little bit more dome shaped, but again, they're very kind of short, tightly packed bristles, and they're designed for cream and liquid foundations. And both of these here are very good from Dollar Tree. I've even used one from Real Techniques. Sometimes you'll see foundation brushes and they'll be shaped like this, but they will be big. They will be more, you know, they will be longer and a little bigger. So sometimes you'll see foundation brushes that look like that as well. So then your concealer brushes. These are for like liquid and cream concealers. This one here is from Dollar Tree. It's from Sassy Chic again. And they come in a couple different forms as well. They may not be as densely packed as like a foundation brush, and they're going to be smaller, of course, to get into smaller places. This one here is from e.l.f. It's very affordable, like $4. It's got like a flat top, and it's a little less packed than this. The e.l.f. ones have their name written on them. I also have an IT Cosmetics one as well. That is similar to this as far as how the bristles are. I've had it for years. This is my second one of the e.l.f. ones. So my first one fell apart. So like I said, a better quality one you might have for longer as you wash and stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed my less expensive ones as well. And you can also have a concealer brush that looks like this. I personally use this brush for like shimmer shadows, but you can use a brush like this for concealer as well, and you can actually use it for liquid or a powder. Bare Minerals, back in the day when I ordered my first Bare Minerals set, they had the kabuki brush and they had a concealer brush, and it was shaped like this, and of course their products were powder products. So you might see those different shapes for concealer brushes. Now I love one of these for like a liquid highlighter or a liquid blush or a liquid bronzer, and I'm talking about a stipple brush. This one here is an e.l.f. one. I actually found this at the Dollar Tree a few years ago, and it says it on it. And I really, really like it. Also, for those same types of products, I like to use a damp beauty blender too, like the one that I put my foundation on with. That's actually my favorite method, but a stippling brush is really nice for, yeah, your cream highlighters, bronzers, and highlighters. Now, some of these things, you know, might be just what I use them for personally. There are no complete rules. This is just a guide. So you might find that you like using a brush for something that it's not necessarily intended for, but that's also your prerogative too. So, but yeah, I like to use a stipple brush for cream products that add color and shine. So your bronzers, your blushes, and your highlighters. And it can be like liquid, cream, or stick formulas. I like to put them on the back of my hand and then diffuse it out and put it on with a stipple brush. So again, something you can find very inexpensive. I don't see them regularly at Dollar Tree, but like I said, this one here is an e.l.f. one. You can find them pretty inexpensive. And then for like powdered foundations, a kabuki brush is a really nice way to go. This one here is from Sassy Chic. Usually a kabuki brush is going to be a really fat, densely packed brush. And this one doesn't say it on it. Like I said, Bare Minerals had theirs. And a lot of times a kabuki brush is actually not even going to have like a big long handle. It's going to be like a little nub. Dollar Tree actually has one that I have not used yet. So like I said, this is one here that I recently found from Sassy Chic. This is my old school Bare Minerals one. See, that's what a kabuki brush is. Dollar Tree actually had another one. I think it was from Sassy Chic. It was terrible. I think I bought it years ago and threw it away. But they've come a long way. And then this is another newer one that they have. And I haven't even used it yet, but it's a kabuki brush with a case. And so yeah, a lot of times a kabuki brush is going to be a shorter, fat, really tightly compact brush. And like I said, it's really good for like your powdered foundations specifically. Then you got like your blush, bronzer, and highlighter. So you've got like your cream products, which again, you can use a stippling brush, or you can use a brush like this. This is another Sassy Chic brush, and this here would be really good for like your contour. I feel like it's a little bit probably too tightly packed for like a liquid or a cream blush or even a highlighter. This here I would use more for like a contour or like a bronzer, like a cream or liquid bronzer. Then this here is also a contour brush. Again, not really to be used with your blushes or your highlighter, but specifically contour. It's kind of got a thinner little profile and it's short and compact and it's really meant so you can contour and really kind of carve out your face, so to speak. This again is from Must Have Beauty. It's one of their newer brushes. Here's a Wet n Wild concealer brush that I've had for years that I got at the Dollar Tree. That's what I was talking about when it was like, this is another shaped and form it can come in. So now you've got like your powder products, your powdered blush, your powdered highlighter, your powdered bronzer. So a lot of my blush and bronzer brushes can kind of be interchangeable. I do like something kind of fluffy, like kind of for both of those products. Sometimes I want my bronzer brush to be a little bit fluffier than my blush brush. So these here are from Sassy Chic. I use these both for bronzer and blush interchangeably. I think they both work really great. This right here is a dual-ended Sassy Chic brush. See this right here? I like to use this here for the shimmer shadows, but really it's probably actually a concealer brush. And then you've got this brush here. This is could be used for blush, bronzer, or even powder, setting powder. This one here is one of the new Must Have Beauty ones. This is a powder brush. And a powder brush too, like this one here is an LA Colors one that I think I got at like Five Below. It's a large powder brush. So I actually have to reiterate that my setting powder and my blush and my bronzer brushes for me personally are a little interchangeable. They can be bigger or smaller. I just have to make sure that they're clean or that I use each one for an allocated purpose because I don't want to use my blush brush as my powder brush and, you know, and use my bronzer brush. So I have to make sure they're clean and that I'm using them for what I'm intending to use them for. But to me, all this stuff is interchangeable. This here is like found that at Dollar Tree. It's got little sprinkles in it. Like I said, I use all these kinds of fluffier brushes. And I've got all kinds. This is from Real Techniques. This is a blush brush, you know, and I think I do use it as that most of the time. This is a Joa large powder brush, but you could use it for bronzer too. So for me, these are a little bit interchangeable. The blush, the powdered blush, powdered bronzer, and powder brushes, like to apply your loose setting powder. For me, those are interchangeable. They can be kind of on the medium side or the larger side and kind of not super tightly packed, just have a little bit of give. That way you can disperse product and kind of build it up if you want to. You don't ever really want any of those things to go on super like, you know, like you don't want to have like a tiny little brush to put your blush on because it's not going to spread out and blend as nice. You want something a little bit bigger, you know what I'm saying? So also to a general rule of thumb, and this is especially true with eyeshadow brushes, the longer and sparser the bristles, the more that this is going to help blend your shadow. And it's not going to put it on as pigmented, but it's going to blend it. The shorter, denser they are, it's going to apply more shadow and not blend it as good. So we'll get more into that, but that's kind of a rule of thumb with brushes in general. The longer and less dense a brush is, the more it's going to disperse a product lightly, loosely, more you can blend, and the shorter, more compact brushes are going to apply a lot heavier and not blend as well. So that's always a general rule of thumb with brushes. So for powder highlighter, I use one of two types of brushes. Also for blush too, I love a brush like this that's angled too. So that makes for a really nice blush brush as well. But they don't have to be angled. So for highlighter, I either like to use a brush kind of like this. Now, this is from Ipsy. This is the tapered highlight. You'll see it'll be kind of a smaller head, and it'll be not quite as compact and a little bit longer. That way you can kind of easily apply some highlighter and not too much. And I've got several brushes like this. But another great way is a fan brush. So this here is an e.l.f. one that I found at Dollar Tree some time ago. This one here is new from Must Have Beauty. And it's just it's not dense. It's got a certain shape so you can really kind of get in and apply your highlighter how you want to, or strobing. I don't strobe, but if you strobe, that's a handy way to do it. So I love a fan brush, and it really just ensures a really nice light application. So I love a fan brush for my highlighter, or like I said, something shaped like this. So now for eyes, there's lots of different brushes as well. And all of these right here I found at Dollar Tree over the years. So you have your brushes that are kind of shaped like this. And these are, you can do a couple different things with these. You can use it to like apply like a cream liner, or you can use it for like a, to put inside like an eyeshadow and line your eyes with it. Or you can use it for your eyebrows. That's honestly how I use these most of the time. Of course, this here is a designated brow brush. This is from LA Colors. It's got your little end where you put it in the powder, or you can put it in a pomade. And then you've got your little spoolie on the end. So yeah, like I said, these are like liner brushes, but they can also be used for your eyebrows as well. And then you see these a lot on my channel because I love to apply shimmers. And in my opinion, this is the best way to do that. And that's flat brushes like this. Like I said, these generally can be like these can be used as like a concealer brush. Often they're gonna be a little bit bigger, more like this Wet n Wild one here. And so these are really, and these come in all different sizes. So what you do, what I like to do is I like to put these in the shimmer, and then I like to spray the brush and apply it, and it just makes shimmers go on like a dream. And they're always, I think, fairly easy to find at Dollar Tree. I've got a Wet n Wild one here that's well loved, and it's filthy, and I've got Sassy Chic, and these here are recent finds from Must Have Beauty. And so there's just all kinds that you can use. You'd have them be a little bit smaller if you want to get in there with like a little bit more detail. Use a bigger one for like more all over shimmer. But these, in my opinion, are the best way to apply shimmer shadows. Then for like an inner corner highlight, I love a little tapered detailing brush like this. And again, I do it the same way, whether I use like a matte inner corner highlight or a liquid or a powder that is shimmery. Dip it in, I spray it, and it helps you really kind of get into that corner right there. I guess you could also use that to line your eyes with eyeshadow if you wanted to. You could even use it, I guess, for your lips. If you wanted to like apply like your lipstick, you could do that too. I don't do that very much, but yeah, these are just little Dollar Tree finds and what I use kind of for my inner corner highlights. Then there's brushes like this. You guys, here's another one. This is a recent Sassy Chic find as well, and it's just another tapered brush. Then these here, I use these all the time, and I don't know what they're called, but I use them to apply concealer under my eyebrows. I guess you could also use them for the shimmers as well. They're just flat brushes. These ones here I specifically use for my eyebrows to clean them up, to put concealer on and just really kind of carve out my brows. But like I said, you could also use these for your shimmers as well, or your concealer. Now shadow brushes. So some brushes are like big if you want to like apply like an all over color on your lid. You can use a brush that's kind of like this. It's going to disperse, you know, they're pretty densely packed, they're pretty short, and they're big for an eyeshadow brush. They're going to deposit a lot of color to a big area of your eye, into your crease and all that stuff. One of these is a Deluxe crease brush. This is a crease brush, so that one's designed to go into your crease. And it's like I said, there's purposes, but you can also use what you like as well. This is a medium shadow brush. And so yeah, these are going to be designed to really kind of put a lot of color onto your lid. And then as you do that, sometimes you just want to kind of diffuse. You might feel like it's a little bit too concentrated, so you want to diffuse that color sometimes. And when you do that, you want to use a brush that's more like this, a little longer, a little less packed. This is going to be really good to just kind of help blend the color. Or if you want to build the color up, this is another way you can go. These are going to be a little bit better at just diffusing the color, blending in any harsh edges and all that kind of thing. Then when you really want to kind of start concentrating the color, you know, really smoking something out, you can start using more compact brushes like this right here. These are really what I would use to really concentrate that color because they're shorter, more densely packed. The black one there is my one. And sometimes I want a bigger one, sometimes I want a slightly smaller one, but they're really going to help deposit that color even more. Now what I like to like kind of smoke out under my eyes personally, this might not be everybody, is what's called a smudger brush. This is a smudger brush. It's a really tightly packed short brush, but it's also kind of thin. And I love to this is what I love to do under my eyes. In a pinch, like if you're on a super budget, this is from IT Cosmetics, but you could use something like this here. It's not quite as flat on the top, but you could apply the color and then kind of diffuse it out with like a brush like this a little bit. So that's what I really like. It's also good for like if you line your eyes with like shadow, you can go in like and use one of those liner brushes. You could go in and smudge it with this brush here. I think that is actually what it's used for, but I like to use it to smoke out under my eyes personally. And then sometimes there are just some brushes that I'll just use pretty much for my whole eye look. These here are from my Oni. I got these years ago. This one here for me is a good all over shadow brush. And then this one here I'll sometimes use to deposit a little extra color. Just, you know, if you had to pick just like one, like if I had to just pick one or two brushes for my eyeshadow, I could get by with these two right here. I could make this work for all of my shadows. Then I could use this here for my shimmers. I could even, you know, make it work smudging under my eyes. I could put something under my brow bone. A lot of times I use my finger for under my brow bone. But I could also use this to line. So if I had to pick only like two styles of eyeshadow brushes, these two right here for me would personally be the most important. Then of course you've got your spoolies, and some spoolies have a liner brush on one end and a spoolie on the other. Some just come as a spoolie. So either way, they're very, very, very handy to have. I love a good spoolie, and I personally love mine to be a little bit on the softer side. I feel like that's actually better for brushing up my brows. This one right here is a little bit harder, so I do prefer mine to be a little bit softer, if that makes sense. So like I said, a lot of these brushes came from the Dollar Tree. You can find a lot of what you need at the Dollar Tree or like at the bargain price point. You don't have to spend a lot on your brushes. And it's really not as complicated as sometimes people make it out to be. Like I said, there's certain brushes that I like to use for certain purposes, for certain reasons, even if that's not their designated use. But yeah, like I said, some basics are knowing your bristle length and size and generally what they do, even if it's not labeled. So I hope this helped clarify and gave you even just a little bit of what you were needing and wanting to know. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, show me you did by hitting the like button. Also, too, if you could hype this video, it does help me and my channel out so much, and I appreciate everyone that has been using their hypes on me. I appreciate it so very much because I know you only get so many. I've done a few different brush videos over the years, and so I'll have those linked down below. That way you can watch some of my other brush videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.